The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good morning, everybody. Can everybody hear and see me? Excellent. Okay, let me get set up here. Okay. Put this down here in case I need it for an annoyance again. And then let's get started, folks. Okay. I'm going to start again with our larger degree perspective. Larger degree perspective remains the same. We're going down to complete wave 3. When we have a third wave completed, we will see a large rally. Okay? We will see a large rally when we have the third wave completed. And from there, that's when we could start preparing for bottoming. Until we begin a quote unquote large rally, I can't say we are bottoming. The most I'm expecting is a bottoming in the third wave. Daily, that's what it looks like. That's what it looks like. Still looks like quote unquote third wave. But we need to finally get to a bottom. Market still has not given us a bottom, and then we're going to get a nice fourth wave bounce. Due to the size of the third wave, that fourth wave, I don't think this is going to provide us with an ending diagonal. What I think we'll probably do is get back up to the 2650, 2700 region, somewhere in that vicinity. Let's take a closer look at the 60-minute. Where is it? Here we go. Stuff around here. Okay, as it stands right now, guys, to me, it looks like, have we? I don't think we've bottomed pre-market yet. So that 2665 is still standing out there as a as a reasonable target for this. So I'm not. That is really is a very reasonable target for this. That's the 1618 extension off the high, that 2665 region, max 2187. Remember, as I outlined over the weekend, because of these extensions, this is our target for the bottom of the 4. The bottom of it is about 2060, and that's the 2.0 extension. So, like I said, until I actually get a bottom in a third wave, extensions are still quite possible. Right now, that 1618 seems to be ideal. And then the fourth wave would target, according to this, it would be 2600. But I'm assuming 2600 to 2725. That is what I'm going to assume as a fourth wave now. The fourth wave of one lesser degree up to the 1.0 extension. It really will depend on where we bottom. Okay. I'm not sorry. 2265. I apologize. I keep making that mistake, guys. I apologize. 2265 seems to be a really nice target for this. So let's start looking at the smaller degree. And I'm going to look at ES, but I can't find anything on ES. So I got to pull out the SPY for this morning, folks. As far as the SPY is concerned, we have, there are a number of things to take into account on the smaller degree. We got two trend channels here. Well, we got one bottom trend line that we seem to be riding. But but we have two upper trend lines that are providing us with resistance up to the 2550 region. So my expectation for this morning is to bottom in wave 3 off of last night's 1-2 setup. We had that 1-2 setup coming into the evening, my expectation is that we probably will bottom out in the bottom of the third of that 1-2 setup and spend some time in a wave 4 bounce today. The maximum expectation I would have for such a bounce, assuming this is just a standard impulse, is going to be that 1.0 extension in the 243-ish region. Should we move through that, then it tells me all of this is an ending diagonal. We could get back up towards, what's the upper end of that? We could get back up to 246, maybe 247, depending on how fast it happens. But then I think at that point, you're still going to get one more lower low. I'd rather this not happen as a diagonal, but this whole mess here does make me question it. But for now, my expectation is I'd like to see us bottoming this morning in wave 3 off the 1-2 setup last night, give us a fourth wave bounce, give us a lower low. Maybe until later today, maybe tomorrow. Can't tell you. But if this pattern holds, guys, then the next day or two should present us with a bottom, with finally a bottom to wave 3, and then you start seeing wave 4 take hold. The A wave may just come back to the top of our resistance. It really depends on how strong it is. But again, this is the fifth wave extension that we were talking about last night, and on the microstructure, folks, on the 60-minute, which you consider that the microstructure, I mean, it really does present rather well in this fashion. I do have to say, it presents rather well in this fashion. So my expectation is now we're finally coming to the point. But look at these divergences. And we're getting these divergences on, now hourly time frames and so on and so forth. Those divergences are very much in line with where we are. On a 60-minute chart, you start getting divergences in the fifth wave of wave 3. Well, I mean, it started after the third wave of wave 3, and now that's really where you see the bottoming in the technicals, because the third wave of wave 3 is usually the strongest, and I'm talking about on the 60-minute is where you'll see it. So with the third wave of the third wave being the strongest technicals, you usually bottom out there, and the fifth wave of your third wave is where you start seeing the divergences building. So right now, to me, this was the fourth wave of this wave that built it. We're now getting the fifth wave lower of wave 3. Then, I mean, everything seems to be very much in line on the technicals and the count. So the expectation is, like I said, if we can complete this micro 345 that I showed you on the SPY, and we should hold the 1618 to 1764. Again, I'm talking bigger perspective. So you guys are looking at this like, oh my God, we're going down to 2187. I didn't say that. I'm just giving you the bigger perspective. The bigger perspective is this is the support for wave 5 of 3 that absolutely should hold. Now, everybody asks me, when am I going to get concerned that this may be the bigger wave 4? Well, to be honest with you, if this support breaks and we can't get a bottom in here over the next day or two for wave 5 of 3, that would start concerning me. My preference is I'd like to see us bottoming in here today, tomorrow at the latest, and then begin wave 4. Wave 4 should take some time. It really should. Okay, let's move on to, just take a quick peek. That's not there. Just take a quick peek at SPY before I go. Yeah, we still need this 345 off of yesterday's high. That's really where we are. Moving to the metals. What's going on here? Let's take a quick peek. That's USO. Let's start with silver. How about that? And I'm just going to do the smaller degree charts for now, guys. I want you to take very, very, very careful notice. Look at that, guys. That is what I have been waiting for. How deep can this go? I'll be honest with you. I mean, the maximum expectation I would have is, what is this? This is 1638. Say $1.50 from here, which would make it 12. I mean, I would have to say I don't think we're going to get below 11 on this. I think 12 is a phenomenal bargain on silver if you're long term. I think it is a ridiculously phenomenal bargain on silver. But this can definitely drop down to 11, I would guess. Let me take a look at the very. Oh boy, hold on a second. Let's go to the 15-minute chart about that. Let me go a little higher. Let's see what we got. You know, it's not looking incredibly impulsive. Part of me is wondering if this is turning into if this is turning into an ending diagonal. I'm gonna tell you right now, guys. I mean, your 1250 is now going to be your micro resistance, and once you see us back up through 1286, I'm going to assume that we have a potential bottom in place. The only thing that I'm going to be concerned about is if we begin higher right now, there is some potential. Let me just show you what I'm thinking on this bigger chart. If we continue higher right now, not drop down closer towards that 11 to 1150 region, there is some potential that this spike lower may have been a B wave, and then we're going to go back up for the C wave. So consider that. But I want you to take note. The divergences have built now to the point where the next drop can be the end of this decline and potentially the lowest low you may see in silver. Now, that's going to bring me to the other charts, and let me start with GLD. So what is GLD doing here? It has extended lower than I had wanted to see, but for me, the structure is such that if we get a lower low here, for me, that's just going to be an extended fifth wave down. See something? Hold on a second. Price extensions. There. Well, I mean, it's not even presenting. Oh, that's weird. Also, like I said with silver, maybe it's an ending diagonal. The alternative is this. Here's the alternative. Remember, I said that if the next rally, and this is something I'm going to highlight in the overview. Okay, let me show you this. All two. I'm gonna add this. This could be. Let me put this in here. This way you guys can understand. Next, B. Let me. Let me show you what I'm considering if we can't make a lower low here. If we don't make a lower low, we clearly had a three-wave rally. Okay, so A, B, And if we then go back up, if we then go back up to there, what this could do, I mean, this could either be, and this is the scenario where I said I would start buying some heavy puts. Because what could concern me is the 1-2 to the downside in gold. But if we continue up without getting that lower low now, if we continue up with a bigger retrace in GLD, I'm buying heavy puts, stop at the high. Minimally, we would get a C wave down, minimally, and that's the yellow C wave. Let's see. Your minimal target would be the 129, 130 region. That would be your minimal target in this scenario. That probably would be my primary. I can't see the big 1-2 structure in GLD, but I will say this. I will say that that if we go up from here in this manner, from this base, this is going to be a point at which I hedge my positions in a big way. And I will look at it in two tranches. One, I will look at it as I'll trade for the C wave down, but I will have lottos in place just in case we get the bigger red countdown. So as I said over the weekend, if we get a bigger corrective rally, and I will highlight this over in my update this evening too, if we get a bigger corrective rally, then to me, that would be more of an indication of seeing lower levels coming in the GLD. Okay? Now, what it may coincide with, just so you know, and that's why I like the ABC scenario. Excuse me, guys. Bear with me. This one. The larger rally from here would coincide, just so you know, with what I would look at in silver, where we still have a 4-5 to complete. And that would be in alignment with the ABC structure I would expect in GLD. So for me, I think that really is what makes the most sense. But it means that we really don't have a quote unquote bottom in the metals just yet. So as I wrote over the weekend, we're going to need a week to 2 weeks to see how this shakes out. And for now, I still have, you know, I for those that followed me in the rooms yesterday, I got some lottos on the put side going out a couple weeks now. So I want to see how this shakes out. Potentially by the end of this week, we'll probably have a much better idea. But I want to see how this shakes out over the next couple of days before I make any bigger determinations. When it comes to GDX, really just the move last week just really threw such a monkey wrench into the works. So right now I can count 5 waves up. Not only can I count 5 waves up, I also have a 5th wave that really has beautiful proportions with the first move up. Now, this could also be a 1-2, 1-2 up. To me, it almost feels like a 1-2 up. Now, when I look at the bigger structure, let me show you. Let me show you a little bit more about the bigger structure here. Where is my GDX daily chart? And I know I'm taking a little time on this. I'm going to write all this out this afternoon and clearly over the weekend. this is what I'm seeing. On the bigger degree, what we know is once you have an ABC wave two, wave one of wave three has one of two main targets. Either it's a low level rally, and that would suggest that 2550 region, which is where we topped yesterday. And if we see a nice corrective retrace, then that's probably what's playing out. Now, let me show you something else. I'm going to hold off on that. So that's really what I'm seeing right now. So what I'd like to see in that case is a nice wave two corrective retrace. And then you take out the high here. Your next target's going to be 3560. That is going to be a major next test, assuming this is how it plays out. Okay. As far as the this level up here, that really is an ideal target for wave one of wave three in the metals, the 618 to 764 extension. We haven't hit that. We really haven't gotten there. So, I'm a little concerned because it didn't really stretch to that. As I post it over on this chart, I cannot completely invalidate the potential that this is a 4 because of the clear 3-wave decline. So as I said, this is going to take a little more time to play out. In the way that I'm personally playing this, and I said this yesterday, as long as this box holds as resistance, I will remain hedged with two thoughts in mind. One, potential wave 2. I'll take some positions off there with stops at the high, or a 5th wave lower. Those really are the two options I'm looking at as long as this resistance holds. If this resistance doesn't hold, well, that opens the door to the 28 level, and this being a micro 4th wave, and that 28 level being a bigger 4, or even if you want to call it an A, B, C. And I would short again at the 28. I'm taking 3 shots at shorting here, guys, if you haven't noticed. I tried here, got stopped out. It really was barely a scratch. I'm trying here again, as I said yesterday. Let's see if I get stopped out. If I get stopped out, it is what it is. The 28 level is going to be the next attempt. These are the levels at which I see risk. Through 28, I'm just riding my longs. That's my personal plan over the next week. I want to see how this develops before I make any major decisions about the complex. And that's what I said at the end of last week. And I'm still maintaining that. I'd like to see a little bit more of the action before I make any determinations. Okay? And by the way, that bigger move to 28 would probably be akin to the move up from in the BC, as well as the bigger 4th wave in silver. So a lot of it really does align. So just keep it all in mind. We have to take this step by step, and those are the steps I'm looking at through this. We're getting late here. Dollar has now come through, and the dollar now has opened the door to get up as high as the 110 region. This, in the same way as gold and silver, I'm going to give it a little more time. The question is what the dollar does on the next pullback. If the next pullback is corrective, the dollar is going to be moving higher before we actually hit a major top. So this may have to be revised. We may not be getting this yet. If the dollar begins an impulsive decline and breaks down below here, I'm back into my perspective. But with the dollar taking out that prior high and dropping this low, it has created the same quote-unquote mess that the move in the GDX has created to some degree. So again, I'm going to need a little more time before I'm confident about how this is going to play out. I'm not always aggressive in all the markets I play in. Right now, there's certain things I don't want to necessarily be aggressive about. And I need a little more time to see how it plays out. As far as USO, let me just take a quick peek here. And we're still playing around there. As far as the USO is concerned, Could this be all of the decline? It certainly can. I can almost consider this now the bottom. I mean, we're not only we have 5 handle, we're threatening a 4 handle. Personally, I'm probably going to buy a little more USO this morning. Look at the divergences here. I mean, when this snaps back, guys, this is going to be ridiculous. You got, and some people are asking me about the TLT. To me, I think it looks like a top. I think we've got 5 waves down now. Oh, it recovered, huh? I'm not sure. I'm going to have to wait then. If we would have gotten a lower low, we would have had 5 waves down. Pre-market, I think we had 5 waves down. I don't want to be long this. Let's put it that way. Okay, guys, we got to get going. I'll catch you later. I'll see you in the room. Have a great day.